सम थोड़ा सा बोल सकता हूँ मगर जब मैं छोटा था मैं
as a kid
बहुत yeah मैं बहुत fluent था like that's
in
like
Gujarati या हिंदी में?
हिंदी में
Hello, namaste everyone. This is Khwab Haria from Mumbai, a drummer and percussionist. Welcome to the 19th episode of Percussion Discussions Show hosted by Gappu Percussion. I am extremely privileged and honored to be hosting tonight's show with a very special guest, this beast of a drummer, the incredible drummer, producer. Let me bring to you guys Mr. Kaz Rodriguez. Early in the morning, Kaz.
no worries man
I suppose
happy
you're
to
in
be
the
here
LA, right?
yeah I'm in Los Angeles right now yeah so it's uh super early and my body is in different time zones so it's
Right.
crazy
Did you just move to LA?
yes yes
Okay.
um so yeah and I'm just getting ready to do a run with Josh Groban so we're going to New York um
Oh,
doing some shows there so yeah bit
nice.
crazy yeah
Amazing. How's everything in LA and how's everything back in London, back in the UK?
yeah I mean London is okay I mean like I'm kind of like transitioning to come here to do a lot of work I've just been the sunny in LA, so it's and it's nice and hot weather, and it's a change from London. London is very cold and
Right.
miserable. A lot of how do you say barish? A lot of barish, a lot of
Nice.
rain. But yeah, so it's nice to be here and catch up with some good friends and um, just writing and doing some great stuff and meeting people that I
Amazing.
haven't, yeah, caught up with in a
Amazing. Well,
while.
it's been more than 2 years. You came to LA, came back to
Yeah,
LA.
yeah. It's
Oh,
been 2 years. We were actually. It was exactly yeah, exactly 2 years. Like I think today that I was in America because we were on tour um uh in Jacksonville, Florida, and we got told the pandemic was like serious, so I ended up coming back. Uh,
back.
and I freaked out. I was like, where, where are my drums? So I got back here and I was like, where are my drums? So we've got that all sorted, and it's just nice to be back and feel like things are opening up again and
Opening up.
playing a show, which is insane. Like,
Right,
yeah.
right. How surreal does it feel? Because it's been 2 years. So how have been the past 2 years for you? 2020, 2021.
Um, so 2020, 2021, obviously there's challenges. I think, for everybody, the musicians, we're all collective. Doesn't matter, if you're established or not established. We are all in the
True,
same bag. Like
very true.
everyone was struggling. I, really try to think about reflecting on how I was when I first started, doing this. And I ended up saying to myself, I've got to hustle again, you know. I got to think outside the box. So, I invested more in my studio and, made a broadcast system. I used my cameras and invested in cameras that work for me. I ended up using a mixing desk by Stephen Slate, which,
Hmm.
they've the Raven. Yeah, so like all those sort of things and really understanding pro audio and how to be an engineer and all those things really helped me because it got me more work and then
Right.
it led to Drumeo coaches. So, so I'm one of the Drumeo coaches, one of the 10, and being able to do that was quite is quite cool as well because I still do that.
Nice.
And I'm able to be proactive with it. So it's just it's a fun thing, and I actually learned from 2020 and 2021. It was a perfect time to learn something, not
True.
to just sit there and twiddle your fingers and go, oh, I don't know what to do.
True. True. So, but then
Yeah.
is it that you just started recording yourself in the 20 and 21, or you were you doing that before that also?
I was doing
Meaning,
it. I was doing it way before. Like composing and all that stuff. I've done that and recording and tracked. I think for me it was purely of like how I could give an experience, like doing remote sessions and actually learning, you know, the digital versus analog and how to mix things properly and how things sound through my ears and sonically. And it was just great because like there was it helped a lot of other people to feel encouraged to do their studios the same way, like Aaron Spears was one of them, like one of my good friends, and he's just like getting his sound dialed in, and it was just I showed him what you should do, and it just changed the game for him. And so it's just it's everyone's helping each other because we all want to
right.
win, you know
True. True.
so yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So, have you heard of this brand Gappu before, or is this the first time you heard about this brand and heard about people at Gappu?
Yeah, I think it's like I think I've heard it from around. Uh, I might have seen you uh online, someone that you've interviewed, or
Hmm.
it was really I don't know. It's just there was so much happening at the time, and I was like transitioning from moving to like doing bits from the studio to going here, and we never got the chance. So
Right.
I'm really glad that we've done this. Look, I committed extra just to wake up early in the morning.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you so much for that. I mean, uh, it's an absolute honor to have you actually, Kaz, and everyone at Gappu, the whole team at Gappu, would like to thank you for your time. Uh,
thank you. Yeah,
we've been looking forward to do this for a long time, and it's finally happening. So, yeah.
yeah. No, I'm ready for your questions and curiosities and anything that you have.
Okay,
So
so
yeah.
uh, okay, let me just tell you this. I did one class with you when you did one class with Fatado School of Music.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I did a class with you that back then. I think in 20 September, August, September 2020, you did those sessions.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
so
remember that one.
amazing.
That's great.
That was so
Thanks for being there.
that was so good. Uh, okay, so could you just tell us in detail a little bit about how it all started for you, drums and music, when it all started and how it all started for you?
Yeah. So for me, musically, uh, I was a kid, man. Like I think I started playing drums when I was like 4 or 5. Um, I never played an actual drum set like any
Okay,
kid would. I was playing, kitchen utensils and
utensils. All right,
utensils and
interesting.
saucepans and like the typical thing, pillows. And yeah, my backstory is very, there's two sides of it. There's a very heavy story, but there's a very lighter version, and I'll do the lighter one. But the main thing is basically I have a thing called synesthesia. So um
Okay,
so when I was a kid, I was the weird kid in school that people would get freaked out by, because I always used to explain the colors of songs. You know, like people used to go, "Oh, what's that?" And then I hear something, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's like blue, but like really
Ah,
light blue, or this is cyan,
oh,
or this is like light bright yellow," and people were like, "You're a freak, get away from me," because you're talking about
oh,
colors. So I had that thing when I was a kid, and I think the whole journey from my music career, like, was I only started, up until I got to the age of, 16. I, left my house.
oh.
Yeah, I left my house because my father was intending for me to be an architect. So I was like, I'm not, I'm not wanting to do that. I want to be a musician. I want to make a living out of it. I want a career, and so I left the house like a stubborn teenager, and I lived independently. I was studying still. I had the lowest moments of my life, but at the same time, uh, getting to the point where I was able to establish my self somewhere. I got my first break when I was 20, like just 19 or 20, and I went to do Cirque du Soleil uh, because I was busking on the streets. I was playing drums on the streets like a street performer, and someone caught me, and then I got the show, and I was still studying in university, and I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Um, at some point, in time, I ended up in a coma because of a situation. Uh, it changed me. I was away for like 3 months. I woke up, and my synesthesia like activated like a lot, um, and I could really respond to notes even more in music. And I just sat down and played piano for the first time, and I knew what I was playing, and I realized I used it to composition. So I started to be a composer, and then I started doing drum tracks just because
Hmm.
I wanted to see what people would do with it, and it just went to where it went to, and people started to play to it, and I think from then on it was just the whole process of how it all started to where I was. It's like rhythm has always been the major
Ah,
factor. Um, but music is also the major factor because I play through music. I don't. I'm self-taught. Drummer. I don't have a teacher. I never had a teacher. I don't read. I'm like I
oh,
just play from here and learn from what I see. And I'm always intrigued and always learning. Like I'm never like, that's it. I know it. Like I
ah.
don't.
I
As
mean,
soon as, yeah,
you shouldn't as a musician. You should
yeah,
never. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's always, and also being self-taught allowed me to find my voice. Like I think, like learning through a system, learning through. I've seen so many drummers, like, and especially India, like they have their like gurus, the seniors, the people, that the
Yeah, yeah,
masters, that,
yeah.
and it's great. Like I see that as like you've got some direction. There's some mentorship, and
Yeah.
uh, but for me, I never had the privilege of that. And even though I come from, like, I have some Indian in my heritage, uh, Gujarati in my heritage, but I
Yes.
don't. But I'm not. I never had that. I wasn't into the Indian rhythms and stuff. I just kind of, my friend, one of my good friends, who's a fantastic like tabla player, from here, from London. His name's Vikash Sankadeksha, and he's like an amazing, like
Mm.
I was just watching him play and hearing him play, and I just could suss out. I could just know what he was playing because I just
Huh.
memorized. But there was, when I did Cirque du Soleil, there was a guy called Deepak Butt, or like
Yeah,
he,
yeah. Arun Solanki and Deepak Bhatt.
and yeah, I toured with them, you know,
Yeah,
and they are,
very very close friends of my. Basically, we all learn from the same teacher. So
yeah, and it's great,
Tawfiq ji.
right?
Yeah.
Tawfiq, yeah. So, and he would always talk about that, and he always said to me, when this is when I was young, and he was like, we were all young, like, this is like 2009. We were on
Yes,
tour for
I
Cirque du
remember.
Soleil,
Germany, right?
Germany, yeah, for Cirque du
Yes.
Soleil, and he was always talking about like, oh man, if you learn this like language, you could be like, you would be, you know, dangerous. I was just
Ah,
like, no, because there are some fantastic drummers that, like, the ones that I listen to over there are like, Darshan is
yeah.
one guy that I listen to. I mean, he's a good friend. Darshan
Yes.
Doshi,
Yes.
Gino,
Yeah.
Gino Banks,
Again, my teacher. Again, my drum
yeah,
teacher.
there
Yeah.
you go, Mr. Broccoli, I call him. But there's those guys are there doing it, and there's a lot of drummers that I'm hearing uh, in India that are like starting to really understand what's going on in the Western side of things, bringing that
True.
Western flavor. And I think for me, because of my heritage, and I was raised in the West, like I think it was such a inspiration to me. It was like uplifting for me to know that, like, when I have my fan base in India, that everyone really could see the difference in my sound, and
Hmm.
you know it was just nice. And I've never been to India, so it's like, it's even crazy. Like, we always tried to set it up actually just before the pandemic. Well, we were setting up a clinic tour to come
Ah,
to India, and it obviously things never worked out, but they will at some point. But
hopefully soon. Yes.
yeah, but yeah, man, like I said,
We've been
you learn.
waiting, Kaz. A lot
Yeah,
of drummers. Yeah.
I'll be there, man. I'll be there. Like, just wait for this crazy thing
Yeah.
to
To
stop.
get. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, what a story! It's so inspiring, and all this while you made so many points, which I think everyone should uh, keep in mind. Finding your sound,
yeah,
such an important point in any musician's career in life. I think you
yeah.
know, creating a language, finding your sound. Amazing, Kaz, mind blowing. The journey is really inspiring, and
Thank you.
the whole from London to LA and doing all these things with whatever you told us. It's so
Yeah,
amazing.
it's crazy because I always look back, and I say to myself, I never forget who I am, despite the opportunities. I always am grateful for any opportunity that arises. Like, and the way that it's led for me to be here, it all comes down to things like, you know, people believing in what you do. They value the art that you're in, and like my boss, like Josh Groban, uh, he's a longevity artist because he's been touring since he was 17. You know, the guy is like in his 40s now, and he's still touring. You know, and
25 plus years. So
yeah, I
it's a
mean,
lot of years.
who does that? I mean, yeah, I mean, you see pop artists that only last like a year or two, and then they die out. This guy just keeps going, and he respects me as a composer and a drummer, and I'm a band member there. I'm not a session player, so it makes all the difference, and it feels like a family. I have my own composition. that I play live on the set for the show.
Oh,
And
that's amazing.
yeah,
Oh,
so I wrote an instrumental called Marrakesh, and I get to do my thing, the Kaz thing,
yes.
but we play with an orchestra and the band, and it's just this. My heart beats every single time I play like something like that, and it's proud. It's a proud moment for me because
Yeah,
like
you getting to play your music
yeah,
to such an
and
audience. It's such a good feeling.
it's a
I
great
I
feeling,
can,
man.
yeah.
And also with Josh found me uh online. My musical director Tariq, who's like my one of my biggest uh inspirations. Um, he actually found me with Josh online uh, through Drumeo. So if it hadn't,
Ah,
because they were looking for drummers at the time, and they realized that I was a composer and a drummer, and I see colors. And he's
mm,
like, "Yeah, I want you in your band." So I was like, "Oh my god, is this real?" Um, so that's how it worked, and that's how I managed to be here, and and have I've had great opportunities since being here as well, and also had the privilege of the band member that the Mark Stevens, who's a fantastic keys player, gave me the opportunity to also play with like Shaka Khan in
mm,
2020, and I did some shows with her, like a show with her, and hopefully there'll be some more, and that was one of my dream gigs, like when I was a kid. Shaka Khan
I'm
was
sure.
like,
I'm sure. Vinny
yeah,
Kaluta played that gig, and
yeah,
you know,
exactly,
every drummer looks up to Vinny Kaluta
yeah,
like God.
yeah.
So I mean, I can totally imagine.
Yeah, so when I got asked to do it, I was like, "Oh my God, this is unreal." It's like, and I got to be
Absolutely.
me. I got to be me, and
And
Shaka,
that's even more, that's even better, you know.
yeah. And it's also proud, like it's a proud moment, because I'm very proud. I think I say this quite often, but I'm very proud of my heritage. I'm proud of where I come from. Uh, like I'm London born and raised, but my heritage, I have, Indian, I have Portuguese, and I have Iranian. It's like that, all those heritages, like I can stand
It's
for
like
who
a
I am. Yeah. It's unification, man. It's like you don't see drummers like that are like, I did it, I battled it for my whole life, like wanting to be a pop drummer, like playing with pop. And I never get it because I was this, like I was a person of ethnicity, I was, and it was always like you had to be this or this, and I was right in the middle, and I, even tried, like people say you should do Bollywood, you should try to do Bollywood, like you'll kill it. People would want you to do, and then I learnt the industry a bit about Bollywood, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. And then I stuck to being in the West, doing the Western stuff, and I've made sure that I compose to a way that I can still compose, I still write, I still do things for TV, I still do things for like computer games, and it's like that gave me another entity of work, and it's the fun part. Like, yes, I don't play drums as much, but I get to play drums like
jumps.
whenever I want, and I record and track. I play keyboard, I sound design, and those things are just a balance of what I need to. Because you can't be a drummer. You can't just be a drummer. If anyone's out there right now and they just hear themselves being just a drummer, you won't make it in as a living. Like you've got to be something else as well. Learn different skill sets in the art. Like
And
be a yeah
you and you're doing music at the end of the day, so
yeah
it's the basically it's like a package, and
yeah
eventually I think all of these things help you play better as a drummer as well. So
yeah. They do.
play, to be able to play keyboards, and to be able to program, to be
Yeah.
able to arrange, uh, makes you a better drummer eventually. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Compositions are like, I feel like they're the stories, like, and also it tells you like how instruments are supposed to be played. Like when we're drummers, when we first start, we just like to overplay. We'll just play a load
True.
of stuff.
So
And
true.
oh yeah, and when you hear if your guitarist is annoyed at you or your bass player is annoyed at you, you don't understand.
What is
And
it?
then what is it? But when you play their instrument and they play the drums, you get the same frustration. So if you reverse the situation, then you start to understand. So there's a reason why when you write music, there's a certain thing that you have to learn. Like every instrument has a certain way of that you have to play and how you have to sync yourself. And the drums are like the spectrum of all frequencies for every instrument. I always see like guitar, like with your snare drum and your hi-hat kind of thing, and your bass drum is
Nice.
and your
Bass.
bass drum's the bass guitar, and
Yeah.
everything in between is like your pads and
Yeah.
strings,
Yeah.
and that's how I learn how to write music, is because it gives me the avenue of knowing that when I write some songs, I just mute the drums in the MIDI track, and then I get this full composition that when I sit on the drum set, it feels natural. So yeah,
Oh, so
it's a cool
so
thing, man.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So interesting. The whole, the whole discussion right now is so interesting. It's quite intriguing.
yeah. And
Uh,
yeah,
yeah. Go on. Go on. Guys,
there
sorry.
you go. No, no, you go. Any other questions? I could go on for days, man. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's so informative. It's so informative for all the drummers out, all the percussionists out, all the musicians out listening here. So, again, such an important point, and a lot of musicians have made, and Kaz again has made a point. You, you, even if you're a drummer, pick up a melody instrument and learn. It's only, even if you don't play it, it helps you become a better drummer, a better musician eventually. So yeah, such an important point.
yeah, and sing,
Amazing.
sing. You know, singing is a
Do,
is an instrument for free. You know,
yeah, yeah.
uh, I use that in any aspect of things when I play drums, so that I want to tune my toms a certain way. I want to sing a certain way. Uh, Being a vocalist, like when I solo, I sing in my head.
Oh,
It's not the chop thing. When I do the chop thing, I'm actually phrasing melodies when I'm doing it. So,
so
and it's by singing it. If it's like when in I guess in the Indian culture is where it's all about the balls, the
true.
like saying the dialect,
Syllables,
the
symbols. Yeah,
syllables and the symbols. It's the same way that I say it, but I sing it. So it's a different way.
yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely. So here now, I would like to ask you, when do you actually sing in the gig, or it's just when you're
I
kind of.
do, I do, I do. Uh, I was, and I probably will again, with Josh. But it's just backing vocals. But I think I just didn't want to do it at that time. I was like, I was trying to get used to playing uh, the drum parts first, and now I'll get comfortable that I will probably start doing it again. I mean, I used to do BVs for like drums back in the day, but I just
Sorry,
lost
I didn't
my.
get you. What? Sorry, Kaz, I didn't get you.
Oh, I used to do backing vocals. I used to do
Oh,
backing
okay.
vocals. Yeah, but
For your drum tracks, you mean?
oh no no oh yeah yeah for my drum tracks. So I used to um track my vocals and turn them into like synth
Yeah,
sounds,
yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah.
I still do it. Like I'm working on my sixth album right now. which has some vocals.
Oh,
But I've manipulated the sound, you know. So it's a cool it's a
like
cool way
a
of doing, yeah.
soundscaping.
Yeah, soundscaping is something I really love. Like
Hmm.
I just love sound design and using instruments in your surroundings. And you know, the biggest, like they say this now, like the biggest, the most used instrument in the world is your laptop.
True,
It's crazy.
true.
We live in such an age now, a digital age, that people will say, "Yeah, what instrument you play?" Well, technically,
Laptop.
a laptop, because that's where
Yeah,
you're. That's where you put your thumbprint on something. You put like you paint a picture through Logic or
yeah,
you know Cubase or Reason or Pro Tools or whatever it is that you use. Those are the that's the instrument that you use. So
true.
yeah.
Okay, can someone asks, so Josh on the drums is asking, when is this sixth album dropping?
Ah, yeah, not until next year because I released album 5 last year, and I was like, I said to myself like I'm gonna do that, but I'm working on my live album as well with my band. I'm also like working on a record which I have done in the past. Like a couple of days ago, I was writing with a great producer uh, called Taylor Graves and Joel Whitley. So they, you know, Taylor's done, you know, the Thundercat stuff and Flying Lotus, and he's like an amazing Grammy producer. Um, and he's really talented. We wanted to write some stuff, so I wanted to do some live things. My drumless album will release next year because my focal point right now is touring with Josh this year and settling in and also trying to sort out an array of things with my live album as well because I want people to hear me live rather than just
True.
like I'm 5 albums in. Like when people say when once you release the fifth album, immediately someone's like, "When's the next album coming?" I'm there's like there's 20 songs in this fifth album. Like you know, you can't tell me that you downloaded the album and you're already fed up of like the 20 songs.
20 songs.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs, man. And the thing is, like, this is the same for the previous album, Synesthesia. A lot of people are so used to playing certain songs, but they think, like, I get it as well. Like when I post online, uh, of a song that I play, they're like, "What song is this?" I go, "This is the song that I released in Synesthesia. Like, that's like 2018. Like, you should play to this." Like, and they don't realize it exists. I'm like, because you didn't get the
Probably
album.
because, yeah, probably they only heard the songs you posted initially.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah,
I don't out push the album as much, you know, like I I'm trying I do because it does its thing. Like once it's out, like everyone like buys it,
yeah,
but I'm not very like I'm all about soft marketing, not about please get it
going
now.
all out.
Yeah, I don't have the time for that. It's all about being just authentic and
Hmm.
just let people
Yeah,
get it for what.
people, people who love Kaz's music are going to buy it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if they like it, they like it. If they don't,
Yeah,
I appreciate them anyway. And I think it's just been fortunate that everyone likes it because it matches to every genre of musician. Like every genre of drummer is like
yeah,
I've had metal drummers use it. I've had jazz drummers play it. I've
true,
had like
true.
fusion guys like Darshan. You know,
Darshan did a cover. Andrew Kanga, I don't know if you know Andrew. Again, a very good
yeah,
drummer. He did a cover.
yeah.
Chris Coleman played your track. So,
I mean, yeah,
I
Chris.
mean,
I've written Chris his own songs. You know, You know, like he's played obviously All of You, which everyone loves
Yeah,
over there, but
yeah.
Chris's songs I wrote like his own ones. Like I wrote Go for him. I
Oh,
wrote
you've written Go for him. Okay, I didn't know
yeah,
this.
I wrote Go or Go. I wrote Fight, the one that he did for the Evans video. Yeah, I wrote
Ah,
Saw, the recent one that he played with the Bruce Lee sound in the beginning.
I
Like
haven't heard this
the
song.
minor,
I
yeah,
should.
it's a song called Saw. So I wrote for him.
Oh,
I wrote I wrote two songs for Aaron Spears. Uh, I did an Annika song. I wrote a song for Spot for Ghost Note. And that was a song called Stutter. Like it's like loads. I mean, look, the end. It's an endless list, but I'm just grateful, like to. I mean, Go is where it really happened. Like Go became a movement because like I never thought that music like that I wrote went to like almost 4 million views like on YouTube. It's like damn. And Chris always told me like this is gonna go like
hmm.
this. People are gonna like this. And Chris Coleman and Aaron Spears are like one of my best. They're my bestest friends. They're like they've kind of raised me to be who I am, and without them telling me what I should and shouldn't do, it's just like they just said keep doing it, and people will listen. And I listened to them, and it, and I never really. And it's also it helped with my brands that the drums that I play like Zildjian and to get to the point now, I have like my own, which I'm so grateful for. But like, I have my own like signature stick with Zildjian, um, and that was released on my Zildjian live that I performed. It was just
2020.
a yeah, no, yeah, 2020, and it was a beautiful day. No, it was 2018. I did that Zildjian live.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought it was 2018 or 2019, but
wow.
regardless, it was. I did the first one with Aaron
Wow.
and Thomas Pridgeon and uh, Will Kennedy, Omar Hakim, like Nikki Gillespie, like she's.
Yeah,
I mean, they're phenomenal, like
they're
drums, and
all so
Aaron
good.
Spears.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like I said, it was just a vibe. It was just a vibe, and it was a great day to kind of release my signature stick,
Nice.
and Aaron as well. Like Aaron had his stick made at the same time, so we had our sticks released for Zildjian. We decided to go with like Zildjian sticks because it was just the heritage, the history.
Yeah.
Our heroes played them. Dennis had his own, so Dennis Chambers. So we just went, yeah. And again, another proud moment for me because of my heritage. you know, another one about like Trilok, like
Ah,
Gertrude has a Zildjian stick.
stick.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, yeah, man, come on, power,
Yeah.
power
Yeah.
to the culture.
Eh, So we used to, some years back, we used to still look at the prices of the stick, and Tilo Go-To sticks are still the most expensive Jelly sticks. It's so amazing.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
they still are, and like I said, like it's good. It's good, like to have your footprint on something, and like I said, all those things happen in life, and you got to enjoy the moment, and not worry about so much about what the future holds. I think people are so weighted on the future, but they don't focus on the present and be grateful for what you have. Like enjoy what you're doing. Like you're in front of your drum set. Like I've said this probably a million times since I've been here. But to everyone that I talk about is like, if you don't try to do something, like if you try and do something and it doesn't work out, what's the worst that can happen? You can only be in where you are right now, and where you started, like here, is fine. We're fine. You know, we're not all the way back to the start. We're just here. We just moved one step, and we just have to keep trying. And I think this is something that I always stick by, because that's what's given me the push to get to where I need to get to. And you have to keep playing. Like I always say it to a lot of the, a lot of the drummers in India and like in other places as well. It's like, how can I be better? How can I do this? I'm like, don't learn by systems. Learn by heart and soul. Like, we live in a society where education can be free, but education is also valued, and the people that you want to learn from is valued. But when you learn from someone, you take that and make it different. Like I think the whole point of teaching is, when you teach someone something, you are supposed to be a hybrid of that. You're not supposed to be a replica.
True.
There's only one
Such a good point.
There's only one Zakir Hussain.
Absolutely.
Do you think? And Zakir, like, Marcus Gilmore, a fantastic drummer.
Yeah.
Like, plays with Zakir, and it's like he's learned from him, mentored by him, and it's.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He does his own thing.
Yeah.
He's turned his concept to his own thing. And I did the similar thing where I listened to a lot of that stuff. Like, it's weird, but I used to play with this artist. In London, I played with this classical guy called Dr. L. Subramaniam. Yeah. So I did a gig with this guy, and I was like my mind just went. I don't know what you're playing, like, but it was surreal. But I learned, and he taught me stuff through a violin, how to be a better drummer. Like,
such a good point. Such a good point.
Do you know what I mean? Like, a musical instrument taught me how to be a better drummer. And this is why I'm saying, like, you've got to learn different things, man. It's like, it's a powerful thing, like this whole system of how we learn and how we take that inspiration, how we
make it
your own. Yeah. And if you do that, things can happen. Like, I can't, like, I'm always intrigued by whenever I get tagged, or like, and I watch, like, the videos. I have to, because I'm appreciative of them playing to my songs, but they're also tagging me when they're playing. And it's like, it's great what they're doing. However, I always want them to be themselves. Being yourself is the hardest thing, because finding your voice, it's the hardest thing that anyone can do. Like, I'm still, like, everyone can have a voice, but they're still willing to learn. And I still am learning. Like,
yeah.
Everyone's a student. If I ever met someone who says, I'm not a student, I am a master of everything, you're not. Even the masters and your gurus will say, we're still learning, and we learn from each other.
So you just mentioned Ustad Ji's name. He still says that. So I mean, imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the day you stop learning, I think the day you stop making progress.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Yeah, man. That's the way. It's power.
Boom.
Yeah, man.
So such an incredible thing that a drummer is making tracks for other drummers, and such a good feeling, that the whole community thing. I just never knew that. Okay, I knew a couple of tracks, but I never knew that you made so many tracks for so many drummers, man.
Yeah,
so amazing.
It was a lot of people. I mean, yeah, I did like custom songs for a lot of people. So like Aaron Spears was like my first, and then Chris Coleman, and like, I think it's just regular. Like, Chris and I would always talk on the phone, and he would like voice note me like some things that he wanted, and I just make it. It's like how I made Go. Like, I wrote Go in like 5 hours and sent it to him, and then he was like, "This is it, perfect." And it's the same with Fight, and the same thing with like Saw, It's SOAR. So and that's a minor. They're all like that. That was a minor performance. Just like Go, and then Aaron's the same. Like, you know, I wrote Switch for him when he moved to Sonar. He played that track. I wrote that, and Annika. You know, Annika and I played back in the day, like 2014 to 2013. We collaborated, did a song together that I wrote called Solution. And then I wrote a song for herself, and which was called, I can't remember. She played it, and it was a collaborative thing. So I just made the song for her. I've made so many songs, like
Yeah, man, that's what.
but yeah,
It's
but this is
it's incredible.
yeah. It's just the story. The story is always like, long story short, it's just like it's a community where when we appreciate everyone's like art, and you know, when I'm in a drum festival, they always hear these songs, and then they're like, yeah, I want to play that song, and I'm like, okay, here you go. Like, it's like Spot, like from Ghost Note, like he
Yeah,
heard one of my songs and he heard Stutter, and he's like, I love that song, I want to play it, I need to play that song, and I was like, all right, here you go.
yeah.
And you know, Spot's like a fantastic drummer and one of my inspirations, because he also produces, and he's a keys player
Keyboard
as
player,
well.
producer.
Yeah,
Amazing.
so that's what inspired me to be a keyboard player and a producer, and you know, now he's playing with Toto, and
Yeah,
so yeah, like it's great. Like I wrote that song, I finished the song Stutter, and gave it to him, and yeah, there's a lot of great songs that I can't even remember because it's been so long. I've written too many songs.
too many songs,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Amazing. Okay, so just since we were talking about albums,
yeah.
uh, the guys at Gappu wanted to ask you, how do you promote your album? Generally, what's
Yeah.
the process, and what is the process of releasing the album in the US or in the UK?
So I used to distribute through just CD Baby. It's just like an online
Yeah,
distribution thing. Um, the thing that really worked for me before the system changed was, you know, it gets distributed worldwide. Um,
true.
at the start, so it was like iTunes, and it'll go on Spotify, and it'll go on different other avenues. And I was like really intrigued by using a digital platform, and I stuck to it because I originally had no money, like when I was in college, uh, and I uploaded my first album with the thought process of thinking I will it will help. I wanted to pay off my debt for university and college, so I was like desperate, and all I had was £100, and I was like, well, I need to like make money, so I just found online that you can sell music. So I put my music on CD Baby, and it
CD Baby.
went. Yeah, so when that existed, it helped, and then you know it was slow burner for 2 months, and then all of a sudden, you know,
Boom.
I was getting income. So yeah, the way that is distributed is through CD Baby. I'm changing it from next year for my next platform. You know, you always got to find different ways, and like I'm independent. I'm not signed
With
to a
any
label.
label,
Yeah, yeah. I've had opportunities to do that, and I
I'm
still
sure.
get them, but
I'm
I
sure.
like to be independent. I mix. I like to mix and master my own stuff, so I don't pay. You know, I learn it. I just like to learn it. Like, it's your ear is such a powerful tool.
Tool.
Yeah, and some people have the patience for it, some people don't, and
Don't.
I just love doing it. Like, and then and it's all about that income that you bring to yourself, you know, because you work for you. You have the,
Correct.
you know, I've always wanted to be a self-made man, like, you know, but not, but it's also important to have a team. it's important to have people that also see the vision of what you want as well. Because I've in the past I've had like my good friends like do videos with me and help me, and studio people be part of it. Like I did the Tama promo thing, and one of my good friends was Zalvo Mello. He's a graphics designer, but
Designer.
also he does 3D animation, and he works for visuals for like people like Rolling Stones and all these guys. Like he's a talented person, but he's a drummer as well.
Ah,
But he saw my vision, and he was always doing things with cameras, and he taught me so much. And those are the things like when I have my albums, I put them on social media uh, for the just the push, and that's how I've always done that system. So I'm going to try it a different way. The albums are done really well, which I was really shocked by, because I'm selling music without the instrument that I actually play. So it's like, which is funny because I'm like,
amazing.
yeah, because I'm like, there's no drums in it, but I'm a drummer. It's like I'm selling a drum track, but I don't have but I
You've
don't. There's
not
no
played the
drums in it.
drums.
Yeah, which is great, because my whole system behind that was I wanted the world to play to music that they never could get. Like, listen, we were all those people. We as drummers, right? When we were younger, I don't know how it is in the millennial world, but I used to purposely go to bookshops, like music bookshops, right? I used to buy the music books, but never read the books, just the CD play along.
CD.
Yeah, play along to that. The Dennis Chambers in the pocket, the out the pocket, the Dave Weckl
Dave
tracks that
Wexel.
I
Yeah.
used to love the Dave Weckl tracks, and there was like some that I could never get because they weren't as drumless, and I used to get so annoyed. And so I decided to like make something like that, but in a different context with my
Your
sound. I
sound.
was
Yeah.
with my sound. I was into like the fusion with like the orchestral. What happened is, like, later on in my timeline, I really started to use the thing that really stemmed music for me, which was classical music,
Hmm.
and I used that analogy into fusion, and it became a thing, and it worked, and it's like, yeah, it's weird, you know, it's weird, but
It's
it works.
drummers. It's drummers music, man.
Yes, drummers. I noticed that drummers really love progressions. So, like, you hear a chord and you're like, oh, and it's like, ah, ah. And this is all because of. It's funny because, like, Deepak and Arun, right?
Ah.
They'd listen to my songs back in the day, and they're like, hey, hey, ah, ah, oh, ah, ah. So I'm like, is that good? And he's like, hey, yeah,
This
hey,
is
get about
so.
it.
This is so Indian. I mean, this is so Indian way to appreciate.
Yeah, it's so
Ah.
funny.
Ooh.
Ah, ooh. I'm like, man, you're right. Yeah. But this is the love that I find in all cultures of music, and
Yeah.
how we share music, and get, we learn from little experiences, and I got to experience learning how he would say, oh man, this is something I can hear, like the rhythms that you're playing. And
Mm.
but he's like, this is kind of like this conical, and it's like, really? And he's like, yeah, but I just hear rhythms in my head. I don't hear time signatures. I just hear
Correct.
rhythms, and it's telling a story, um, and breaching out to the to a demographic. You know, that's the thing that I'm looking for. But yeah, I mean, like, and also like, it's just, I don't know. I just love the fact that you know, when I was distributing music, I had to learn business very quickly.
Mm.
Like it took a while. It took a hot minute. So, but yeah, I mean, anyway, I'm blabbering on. Long story short, go for platforms that work for you, that make sure that you make the money that goes to you. Obviously, the cuts and all that, but there are so many different platforms that you can distribute your
Mm.
music to.
But
Yeah.
how about the promotions then?
Yeah, promotions are simple. Promotions are just like through, um, you know, they'll go and be publicized and put through there. You can get widgets, you can get posters that come through. I just go on my Instagram and just post and say the album's out.
Okay,
You can put it on your website, you can attach it to your Facebook
simple.
e-commerce. Yeah, simple. Yeah.
Keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, a couple of questions, Kaz. What do you think about the music education, and what do you think? How do you think it has changed in the past 2 years of the pandemic?
Yeah, very good question. So music education has not, it's kind of dipped down in the sense of physical, because music education is all about the physical being in person to learn. We've become in a world where now we're living a digital age. So, you know, in the way that I'm teaching, and you know, I'm a professor at a conservatoire in London now, and I'm also a drummer coach,
From you,
but they're both through digital. So that's
online.
why but you have to broadcast and learn how to
Yeah.
change angles, and audio has to be high quality
Hi.
because you want the student to really learn what you're doing.
True.
But it's crazy. Like your life will be easier by sitting there and just
Just showing it
you
too. So
yeah,
true.
exactly. And
Yeah.
this is what's happened in the pandemic. But in all honesty, like things are going to a digital age. So now that we've learned that, you can teach from anywhere in the world, and education is important because it's a guideline for you to get to where you need to. But never expect you to get a job when you graduate. You should be networking whilst you're studying. Like you shouldn't be,
Mm.
it's not even just
Waiting for it.
networking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, don't wait for it, because you know that's in any job.
Yeah.
Like you don't get a skill and then get a guaranteed job. Like
True.
you've got to do,
Especially I think in the arts
yeah,
side of things.
yeah, the arts, but also in different other things like architecture, sciences, all that stuff. You gotta work for it. You gotta network with the right people, with the right companies that you want to work with. But a piece of paper doesn't do that. It's
Absolutely.
you So
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Education is important. You got to keep
Correct.
yourself going. Yeah. So
Do you do you also teach privately other apart from this conservatory and Ramyo?
yeah, I teach privately. I have students. I have two people that I mentor. I'm mentoring two people. There are, it's overwhelming sometimes the amount of students that are coming, but obviously I keep my selection small because there's just so much time that I
Yeah.
have. So,
True.
but I do private lessons, and it was like cool, when I was talking to the Furtados lot when I did that. But it was very small, and I think at the time it was a tough time because of the
Yeah.
pandemic. So
Yeah.
the volume wasn't great, but like I do private,
Mm.
always do private, but it's always hard for me because like the way that I charge is different to in LA, like in LA and London,
Mm.
but in India it's so hard, like for the
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the way that I was asking Darshan, I was like,
The
how
math.
does it?
Yeah.
I was like,
I know.
tell me what it is, bro. Just tell me what is comfortable for the public of India. Just tell me, like,
True.
and that's why I always say, like, what, regardless of what it is, and I will get to India. Like,
You have to. You have to, Kaz.
yeah, I will get to
Uh,
India.
so thoughtful of you.
No worries, man. And it's important for me because culturally, it's important for my. I want to do that in my life,
So,
and Darshan is sorting it. Don't worry. Yeah.
so, hey, we would want to hear something in Hindi and Gujarati from you, Kaz. Since
Well, I can understand a little bit of Gujarati. I can I can speak like मैं थोड़ा सा बोल सकता हूँ Hindi.
nice.
So uh,
Do you also speak Gujarati? But or you?
all I can
No.
say is game cho.
Yeah, majama.
Majama cho.
Nice.
Yeah. So I
Amazing.
mean, I can talk. I can talk a little bit, like some थोड़ा सा बोल सकता हूँ मगर जब मैं छोटा था मैं
As a kid
बहुत yeah मैं बहुत fluent था, like that's
in
like
Gujarati. Yeah, Hindi में.
हिंदी में
Oh, nice. Nice.
और अभी थोड़ा सा अभी है मगर
It's it
ज़्यादा
it's
नहीं है.
been a while.
Yeah,
It's been
it's
a
been a
while.
long time. So
True.
this is the
True.
thing, man. Like I don't know. I try to learn, like, but I can communicate, and I think it's a powerful thing learning a different language because it also connects you to the person that appreciates
True.
who
True.
you are. Like I will learn it. Maybe you teach me.
I will.
You,
Oh, I
you
will.
could
You teach me.
if you
You
speak
teach me
you
some
speak
drums.
yeah for sure. You speak Gujarati, right?
Yeah, I'm a Gujarati as well. So,
Yeah, so I will understand if you spoke to me in Gujarati, I'll do it because my grandmother,
grandmother.
yeah, she spoke to me in nothing but Gujarati, so I just understood what she
I
said
understand.
since I was a baby. So
Ah,
I just go, yeah, and she's like, yeah, yeah, and then she made me all the food, man. My favorite food with that she made for me was uh dal bhat.
dal bhat.
Oh my God, dal bhat.
Oh man, Gujarati food. You don't even start. I think.
Don't even get me going, man, because I love Gujarati food so much. It's like, and khichdi is like, I love that stuff. Like,
Oh,
and it's
so
just,
good, man.
it's
You
so
have to
good.
you have to come to India. Definitely, you have to come to India, Kaz, and for a good amount of time because there's so much to do there.
So much to eat.
So much to
But yeah,
eat.
yeah, I'm, you know, always discovering, and it's, food is mute like music to me. You know,
That's the main thing.
it fills the soul, man. Fills the soul. But yeah, man, like I said, it's all good, and hopefully I'll get there. It's all in plans. I've spoken to Zildjian about it, and we're gonna try and figure out after all the chaos is calmed down
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things are, we're having to deal with this right now.
yeah,
So when
yeah,
I
yeah,
get there, at some point, we'll do like a city tour run
yeah.
in India. So
Lots
yeah,
of Gujarati food, man.
let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, man.
Amazing. Okay, last few questions, Kaz.
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, no, absolutely fine. Yeah.
Okay, so again from the team, what was that breakthrough moment in your career? What has been that breakthrough moment up till now?
Oh, the breakthrough moment in my career. I don't know. I don't know. Like my big breakthrough moment is just like to be able to do what I've been doing. Like I think every day is a breakthrough moment,
Every day
man.
is a breakthrough moment. What
Yeah.
a statement.
Well, I mean,
What a
like
statement.
I think you have to appreciate the achievements and the struggles. I think that is what builds the character in you, and I feel like every day is a progression into something, and and that's the way I like to. That's the
Ah, what a great
breakthrough.
point. And
Yeah,
that keeps you grounded too, no? I mean,
yeah.
amazing. Kaz, thank you so much. Thank you. This is all this is gold actually.
Oh,
for all
thank
the
you.
listeners.
No worries,
Okay.
man. Pleasure.
What are the upcoming projects, Kaz?
So yeah, the upcoming project I have, uh, I'm working on an album with Taylor Graves at the moment, who's based here in Los Angeles. So he's also like done stuff with like Ronald Bruner Jr. and Justin Brown and
Ah,
all those cats like Mike Mitchell. So I'm doing some stuff with him, and I've got like a live album with my band, which I have that's based in London.
okay.
Uh, Phenomenal musicians: Ashton Sellers on guitar, Benjamin Morale on bass, and Lewis Moody on keys. And it's been great playing with them, and we've got some exciting things to do with that. I've got some other things that I'm working on composition wise, which I can't say yet, but they're very big projects for a computer game. That's what I'm going to say. Uh, yeah,
Amazing.
just and also touring with Josh
Ah,
after 2 years of not playing.
not not playing on
Yeah,
stage.
yeah,
Not playing
exactly.
on a stage. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so now we're playing on a stage, and I'm going to be like, oh, this is how I've got to play again. Like getting my brushwork back to it, and getting my sticks, playing less choppy now. Just playing music, and it's good like that, and composing, and just learning different things, and seeing how things are here, and uh,
But yeah, sorry.
yeah, the tour,
So
yeah,
you
yeah, just
you keep doing back and forth to London and the US, or you
yeah,
you,
and
you are in the LA for now?
yeah, I'll be here. Like it's
Okay.
it's 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 just kind of just trying to sort things out. Like right now, it's back and forth because
Okay.
I've got things to sort out, and I've got a lot of stuff there. You know,
Lots of
um,
drums,
lots of drums, but I've
lots
got
of
some
gear.
drums here. Yeah, it's lots of gear, and being here, I've got like I'm fortunate. I've got like my kit for Josh, but I've got some other stuff.
Yeah,
That's
I saw
I've got
some
another.
pictures of the Tama vintage.
Yeah, the orange one,
Yeah,
the one on my videos. Yeah,
yeah. Sounds so
that's a
good, man.
vintage.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it sounds great. So that's an old 1968. Well, I think it's an 80s vintage Tama. It's like it's a star. It's a
Ah,
1968, and a Tama Star. Before it was called Tama Star, they had a line called Mitchell drums,
oh, okay.
and it was only a short run. And I found this for really cheap, and I bought it. And I never played it because it was like, oh, it's vintage. And I played it, and it just sounds like incredible.
Yeah.
So my Tama Star kit is like behind, just like
Ah,
stacked up and not played. But I like to change things around all the time. So it's nice to hear and feel different drums of how they're made, and it's just fun. Like here, I got this Tama Star Maple, and I've got a new kit from Tama Star that's being made currently, which I can't wait to share with you to show. It's like a custom one, but it's going to be fun. And yeah,
nice.
I'm grateful for playing the drums that I play and the cymbals that I play, and yeah, I mean, it's all about sharing, you know, to to these sort of things. And I'm gonna do, I'm always about giving, like, uh, I mean, you'll be the first one to know, but I'm gonna sell one of my kits and donate it to charity, because it's the kit that gave me a voice, but
Ah,
I'm gonna part ways with it. you know, it's like a
emotional. Like,
emotional attachment, but at the same time, I want someone else to have that kit to cherish it and know that they will find use of it. And at the same time, those proceedings, the money that I make from that will go to a charity that I want to put towards Josh's charity, Find Your Light, because his charity is so special, where it's for kids who don't have music instruments, who are less fortunate. And I wish I could, like I have it all the time. If I had it in any way in India, and people that are just so aspired to play drums and music instruments, I wish I could do that. Like, donate to everywhere if I could. Like, I would, because that's what completes me, man. That's what literally completes me. Like, helping someone else out is the same way when I was a kid. Like, I couldn't afford drumsticks. I couldn't afford a snare drum and all this. And like, my friends would give me, like, they would buy me like a snare drum,
Just
or
pair of stick.
yeah, and a piece of wood that I valued for the rest of my life. And then I got, it all came back to me. So you make a difference if you give something to someone. So I want to do the same for someone else. That, I'm renowned for, like, when someone sees me in person and they hang with me, I'll be like, here you go, man, take this. Darshan knows. He came in and he's like, hey man, I was like, hey man, yeah, take this. Hey man, take this. For my sticks. Like, it's just a thing. It's a beautiful thing about sharing your instruments and passing it on to someone, and it gives light and fire and fuel for inspiration. That's how it worked for me, and hopefully it worked for everyone else that's watching. And so yeah.
So good, man. So good.
All right,
So
man.
good.
All right, man.
Amazing. Okay. One thing you would want to change about the music industry?
Play real music. Just like,
You said it.
I know. I can't stand listening to, be original. Like, support live musicians, support live music, support music that is not the typical, hype. Like, I've been a victim of that. Like, I produce stuff for pop artists as well, and it's like, I sit there and I'm like, nah. It's like, I can't express my musical ability. But music, and also be open to listening to everything. Like, in the music industry, don't limit yourself to being like, I just play hip hop, I just play drum and bass, I just play pop, I just play Bollywood. No, learn everything.
Yeah.
Learn everything. I've learned so much by playing with Josh, by listening to folk music, jazz music, world music, hip hop, funk, fusion, like classical. Like, I appreciate cymbal swells. I have to play cymbal swells with Josh, but it's a specific way of playing it, and it makes you feel like, yeah, don't be a drummer, be a musician. Like, listen to all genres. All genres of music create the character in you. And I think in the music business as well, right now in the music industry, people are too caught up into the one thing. And especially on your Instagram or like your social media, stop like following everyone else's hype. Like, if one person does something, doesn't mean because they're getting traction, you have to do the same thing.
Do that.
Be someone else.
And
stop. You don't have, and post only because you want to post.
Social pressure.
Yeah, social pressure.
Yeah, it's become like a social pressure.
Man, I'm telling you, I privacy in your life is the biggest thing that I always want, right? But when people are up in your grill expecting shit, it's like you now work for them. You don't have control of your life. Appreciate your life, man. Like, I learned this from a long time ago. It's like you can only the biggest enemy is yourself, right? And if you're going to be on social media and you just want to be like, yeah, I'm dependent on my phone, you're losing all the appreciation here. Like right now, I'm seeing the sky, like, and it's sunny and it's beautiful. I'm seeing beautiful trees. I'm hearing birds sing, like, for the past hour. Like, that is the moment. But most people will just be on their phone, just
True.
swiping up and whatever the hell
Yeah,
it is. And
swiping up. Oh man, yeah.
yeah, don't have time for that, man. Like, I like videos that I do, like the drum videos on Instagram. That's like my camera and my audio recorded straight into QuickTime, like very quick. Like there's no mixing required. The audio is that. It's a feed because I don't have time to edit.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
mean,
There's
yeah,
no time for
otherwise,
it.
correct. Because now,
Yeah.
I mean, I've come across this. I have faced this also. There's certain kind of a pressure to give good quality content, produce your drum sound well, and then post it. But man, it takes so much of time, and you really don't have time for all of that.
You really don't. You
True,
really don't,
true,
man.
true.
But yeah, you gotta just balance your life. Just balance your life and just enjoy being uh you know a human being and learn. That's all.
Ah, okay. That was some advice, Kaz. I think, yeah, I mean, after this, I really don't need to ask questions because this is probably the best, one of the best sessions I've had, and one of the best, some of the best advice, actually.
Thank
Words
you.
of wisdom. Thank you, Kaz. Okay, so last segment is like a rapid fire thing.
Okay.
Uh, so, some quick questions to you.
Okay.
Okay. What was your first instrument, Kaz?
Drums.
Amazing. Who got you into music first?
Debussy.
Ooh,
Classical
okay,
music.
okay. Who would you like to collaborate with? Uh, I mean, the first one to collaborate with from now.
Uh, well, being my hero, even though I've met him and we shared a front cover together, was Simon Phillips. So yeah,
Amazing. Okay. Uh, who is your favorite drummer?
that's tough, man. I
Okay,
can't.
chalo, five, five, top five.
Top five: Simon Phillips, Aaron Spears, Chris Coleman, Spot. Damn, it's tough. It's tough. Uh, oh man, and I would say, like, for me, in the most recent, Marcus Gilmore. Yeah,
Great, great. All of them are so good. Okay. What was the first drum kit?
my first drum kit was a Tama Superstar.
You've been playing Tama ever since.
I said I will play Tama till I die, so I'm playing Tama, and I'm now a
Ah,
Tama artist. Yeah,
man, amazing. Who was your, I mean, with whom did you share the stage for the first time?
an artist called Stephanie McKay. Uh, and she was part of, like, she was a writer for Portishead, a songwriter for Portishead, and she was like in the Roy Hargrove collective, which is like a funk thing. So we toured with her. Like we did. That was my first artist.
And when was that?
I was 17. Yeah.
And who is your favorite Indian musician?
Oh,
Okay, again, if you have to do five,
what drummers?
Any musician. Oh, you could list drummers also.
Okay. Well, well, I like rhythm sure for sure because rhythm's on my album.
Yeah,
On the
he's
fifth album.
incredible. He's so good.
Yeah, rhythm sure. I've got indie musicians. I'd say. I mean, Zaka is saying for sure. Like
Yeah.
that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I love Darshan is dope. Gino. I'm gonna keep going as well, so it will probably be more than five. Uh, there's another guy that I fucking forgot his name. Is it Jay something? I don't know. He does drum and bass stuff. I keep forgetting his name.
Uh, 1 second. Let me think.
But he's like
From
something
Cal.
sing.
From
What's
Calcutta.
that? Yeah. Something sing. I don't know.
Jivraj.
Jivraj.
Jivraj
Yeah.
Singh.
Yeah, Jivraj. Like he doesn't. I don't know if he knows me, but like I know him. But he's. I've
I'm
been checking
sure.
him out.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
but
he knows too.
yeah, he's dope, man. Like I kind of seen some of his stuff, and
Yeah.
there. Who else is there? No, obviously there's more, bro. Trilok is a bad
Sure.
boy. Trilok, and there's Mahini Day.
Mohini. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the bass
Absolutely.
player.
She's killer. Yeah.
She's killer. Yeah, basically like.
I've had a good fortune to perform with her, so yeah.
Oh yeah, she's great, man. And there's loads, man. I can't even because you put me on the spot. This is supposed to be a quick fire round, not
Okay.
all right. Yeah,
All
there you go.
right. Okay. Cool. One last piece from you,
Yeah,
Kaz.
yeah.
One last word from you.
Okay, just keep playing. Like play what you love, and also hopefully this is like some sort of way for you to know that if you believe in something and you envision it and you model it in your head, it will come to reality once you set it into stone. And it's like, I want you to, whatever instrument that you play, for anyone that's watching, whatever instrument you play, it doesn't matter if you sing, if you play guitar, if you're a drummer, know that opportunities are always ready for you. It's how much you are willing to put, how many steps forward do you want to take? Take risk, because if you don't take risk, you'll never know. So enjoy the process, enjoy the struggle, enjoy the euphoric moments of your musical life, and you will just be a stronger person from that as well. So just enjoy the journey. That's what I say.
Such an advice, Kaz. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the words of wisdom. Thank you for your
No worries.
time. I and the whole team of Gappu would like to thank you for all the time, Kaz.
No worries.
This one has been one hell of a session. I've had the best time. Thank you, Kaz.
No worries.
And thank
man.
you everyone whoever's watching. This was amazing. Thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Hope you had a great time. Okay,
Yeah, man.
I
Thank
am
you.
hoping to see you soon, Kaz.
Yeah.
Soon in India. Maybe take some drum lessons, teach you some Gujarati, and have some Gujarati food with you very soon.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Let's do this.
Well, awesome, man. Well, look, just be safe and much love to
You
everyone
too.
here. Thank you.
You too.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
And have a great tour.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.